Hey guys, Dr. J here. In the previous episode, we defeated the Leechmonger and completed 5-1. It was a relatively short level. I guess the idea was to gently ease us into the nightmare that's 5-2. Today is probably going to be a rather long episode. I only hope there won't be any deaths, since there are several points in this level where we could easily die. I'll be taking precautions, so it shouldn't happen, but still. There are a lot of enemies in this level, but we have plenty of fresh spice and other restoratives, so that shouldn't be an issue. Okay, we're as ready as can be, so let's go ahead and teleport there. We'll soon be entering a poison swamp, so I think I'll be switching the Thieves Ring for the Regenerator's Ring. I know I said it's pretty useless when we picked it up, but in this particular situation, it can help us conserve our restoratives. It won't be able to fully offset the effect of the poison, but it will help. And besides, we don't really need the Thieves Ring in this level. Here's the poison swamp. There are a lot of dilapidated buildings where the exiles used to live, and I guess they still do, despite turning into depraved ones. If we go over here, we'll see a drawbridge. It's raised currently, but once we go on the other side and lower it, we'll be able to use it as a shortcut to skip most of the level. Here it is. There's also a crystal lizard on the other side, who seems to have sensed us and escaped. Doesn't matter, we don't need any of its drops. Unfortunately, this is the only shortcut in the level, and it leads basically to the boss fog gate, so it's not terribly useful. This is where we can go down into the swamp. There's only a couple of depraved ones here. They've also had their health increased, so we can no longer one-shot them with the soul arrow, which is the main reason why we'll be using a lot of fresh spice in this level. And I also can't afford to swap the Ring of Magical Sharpness for the Fragrant Ring, since there are very powerful enemies here, for which we'll need the extra magic attack power. Anyway, we've entered the poison swamp and we'll now have to watch our health. The swamp is full of these poison jellies. They drop lotuses, which is okay I guess, but we don't really need them, and they're worth very little souls, so I hate to waste time killing them. I will still kill all we come across, because they won't respawn. And we will need to come back here in the future, so I'd rather not deal with them again. While we're killing them, I'd like to talk more about this world. So basically, the Valley of Defilement is where all the undesirables across Boletaria were sent. It was a wretched place even before the colorless fog, but now it has been turned into a hellscape. The maiden Astrea that the filthy woman mentioned came here to try to ease the suffering of the people exiled here. I believe she came here before the colorless fog. Obviously she's still alive, but we still don't know what exactly happened to her. We also know that she came here with her faithful companion and bodyguard Garl Vinland. The filthy woman told us as much. He's known as an incredibly powerful knight, so I'm sure he can keep her safe from the demons. Okay, that was pretty much all I wanted to say about the lore of this world, for now. There's more to talk about, but I want us to first discover a few things before I continue. Seems like there's still a lot of poison jellies we need to kill, so I may have to fast forward this part. I think we've killed enough of the poison jellies in this area. Let's go on this island, grab the itemized soul and heal up. While we're poisoned, our restoratives have their effect halved. But there's no point in using a Royal Lotus to cure our poison now, since we'll be going straight back into the swamp anyway. There are a lot of poison jellies here as well, so I'll probably have to fast forward again. That took a while, but at least we've killed the vast majority of the jellies. Okay, now we'll have to go off the beaten path for a while so we can grab a couple of very important items and kill a very dangerous black phantom. These items are not terribly important, but will lead our way to the one we're looking for. The Warsight is the weapon of the Reapers in 4-2. It's not particularly good, but is one of the weapons we can use to create the large sword of searching. We have some restoratives here. Over there is the first of the items we needed to collect. The Broken Sword. It's useless on its own, but once we get the appropriate boss demon soul, we'll be able to create a very interesting weapon. But I'll talk more about it once we get the soul. Let's focus on this fight. This is the Meat Cleaver Black Phantom. He's very dangerous while in the swamp, since, unlike us, he can dodge roll. Which is why we needed to use the soul remains to distract him while we restore our mana. And potentially even to run away if we have to. Fortunately, the fight went pretty well, but if he managed to reach us, we'd have little chance of surviving. Over on this island, there is another item we need, the Cat's Ring. I guess we could have bought it from Patches as well, but it's pretty expensive, so... The Cat's Ring nullifies foe damage, as long as it's not lethal, so it's pretty useless to us. I mean, if we don't die from a foe, then we can obviously heal, so... no point in using it. And this is the last item we needed to collect from this part of the swamp. A pure sucker stone. And that's it. There are a few more items we're going to grab, but we should go back onto the path leading to the first fog gate in this level. There's some black turpentine here we can collect. And we can now continue following this path. There will be some more poison jellies here, but there aren't that many of them. Okay, let's try to get back to the island before we get poisoned again, so we can heal more easily. Damn, couldn't quite make it. Doesn't matter, let's kill these two and go back and use a Royal Lotus before healing. And now a fresh spice as well, and we'll be ready to continue. This next part can be very dangerous. We reach an island with a few depraved ones, along with a giant depraved one. Unfortunately, the island is rather small, so we don't really have a lot of room to move around. So we'll have to rely on the soul remains again. Keep in mind that we don't have to fight these guys. We can just go behind them and enter the fog gate. Good, we managed to kill the giant one, so the rest will be easy to deal with. I'll use one more soul remains, just in case. Let's restore our mana now. Perfect. Let's loot the items here and then continue through the fog gate. We're mostly done with the swamp section. There's one more time we're gonna have to move through it, but it's just for a short while. We're also done with the hardest part of the level. I mean, it's still dangerous and we could easily die at some point. But once we reach the first fog gate, the level becomes quite a bit easier. We'll have to run along this wooden platform for a while. There's nothing particularly dangerous here, just some depraved ones. Oh, and these giant mosquitoes, of course. But they're very easy to kill. Up ahead are several more spear-wielding depraved ones. By the way, I guess now is a good time to talk about the level architecture. The valley is separated in 3 parts. We're now in the middle part. The only way to enter it was through the fog gate. There was a wall in the swamp that would have stopped us if we tried to come here directly. To the left and slightly above us is a cave that spawns an infinite amount of depraved ones. If we can move quickly, we should be able to pass by it without aggroing them. That's why I put the couple of depraved ones and then ran back. Great, looks like we managed to do it. It's the cave over there. We can't see them from here, but it will constantly spawn waves of 3 depraved ones. Now we'll have to drop down into the swamp again. Like I said, it's just for a short while, and most of the time we won't be going through the swamp anyway. There is a path of islands starting from here that will lead us to the third part of the valley. We'll have to deal with a few more giant mosquitoes. And we can now continue. We'll keep following the path until we start seeing slugs. Okay, we've reached them. I'll kill these ones, but feel free to just ignore them and continue. There are a lot of bumps in the terrain here that block our spells, so fighting these slugs can be pretty annoying. There is an item over there, but we'll come back here in a bit, so we don't have to go get it right now. On the next islands there are going to be a few depraved ones. More precisely, 2 giant depraved ones and a shaman. This is the first time we will be encountering the shamans. They're not particularly difficult to kill, but they can be very annoying. They're incredibly fast and can cast the Poison Cloud spell. The cast time of the spell is pretty long, so we shouldn't worry too much about it. Besides, it's not like we aren't used to constantly being poisoned anyway. Here comes the shaman. Dang, I'll throw some soul remains to buy some time to use a fresh spice. Huh? He acts as if the soul remains didn't affect him. That should be impossible. Well, anyways, we've killed them. Instead of continuing towards the fog gate, we should go left of the path where we'll find a ramp leading up the cliff. It's over this way. There's going to be a few giant mosquitoes on the way to the ramp. Here they are. The item we see in front of us is where the ramp starts. I guess that's one good thing I can say about this level. There are many signs that help us find our way in the swamp. Either items or torches. If there just was a sudden ring in the original Demon's Souls like there is in the remake, I really wouldn't mind playing this level. Okay, let's restore our mana, go up the ramp to kill the first slug, cure our poison, and then go back to pick up the itemized soul. Now we can go up the ramp. We will encounter a couple more slugs on it, which we can easily kill, and we will eventually reach a giant nest of slugs. Actually, I'm not sure if I should be calling it a nest, it's more like a giant clump of slugs. That clump is hanging right above the item we skipped earlier, when we killed the first slugs we encountered in this level. I lured the slug into following us down the ramp, so we don't hit the ramp instead of it. Okay, so there were more than just a couple of slugs. And we can already see the clump of slugs hanging over there. There's another wooden platform right next to it. We'll have to go there and slash it with our weapon so it falls down. This is the last slug we'll need to kill here. The item next to it is another itemized soul. Actually, before I use our sword, let me try using our soul ray. I wanna see if we can kill the slugs while they're still clumped like that. The soul arrow doesn't work. And neither does the soul ray. Well, that's too bad. Let's just cut it down with our sword then. Good, now we'll have to go down where they fell and pick up the item we did all these things for. Fortunately, there is a shortcut here, and we won't have to go back down the ramp. All of the slugs in the clump have spread out now, and if we want to pick up the item, we'll have to find a way to deal with them. And it looks like the item was a sword. Very interesting. Now, we could just kill all of the slugs here, but using the spells we have right now would be a huge pain, because the lock-on point is so low. So I'll just try to lure them away from the sword and try to grab it before they can attack us. I'll also throw a soul remains for good measure. Great! We did get attacked by one of the slugs, but it looks like we get some iframes while pulling the sword. And the sword was the fabled Large Sword of Moonlight, which has a long history of appearing in FromSoft's games. It first appeared in the Kingsfield franchise, which is like the spiritual prequel to the Souls franchise. This version of the sword is pretty much only usable by a character using a faith build. It requires 24 faith just to wield it, and it scales only with the faith stat. But it is also one of the only 2 weapons in the game that cannot be blocked by shields, so if we were using a faith build, that would have been a very powerful weapon for us.
Hey, I know you. Won't you buy something? My poor child is sick, he needs your help.
The Filthy Woman has had her inventory expanded and now offers some more restoratives, a limited number of Stones of Ephemeral Eyes, and the Mirdan armor set. The Mirdan armor set is worn by the knights protecting the temples, so we can assume it has something to do with the maiden Astrea. How did the Filthy Woman find this armor though?
This place? It's a proper mound of rubbish. All the rot of the world, living or not, ends up here. I thank the stars that I still have my boy. Ever since that demon witch came here, everything has turned foul. This was a much better place before she came. I was the apple of every man's eye. You're here to rid us of her, aren't you? Well, don't show her any mercy.
Interesting. So, despite coming here to help the people, Astrea actually made it much worse. At least according to the Filthy Woman. And I'm not sure how much trust I can place in her words. I've just now realized, but we're almost done with this level, which is super weird. Anytime I play it, it feels like it takes hours to complete it. But it looks like it will only take us a few minutes more than most of the other Dash 2 levels. Anyway, we've now entered the third and final part of the Valley of Defilement. It is another village of the Depraved Ones, and this one is full of them. There's also a couple of shamans as well. I didn't expect to have a third one attack us in the back. We could have easily died here. There's nothing we need in this village, so we can just run through it and go open the shortcut we saw at the beginning of the level. But I think I'll try to be at least somewhat thorough and collect most of the items here. We have line of sight of this one, so let's kill him and then try to deal with the shaman. Okay, where did he go? This is another normal depraved one. Seriously, where did he run off to? Well, anyway, we are bound to find him at some point. Let's continue systematically slaughtering the depraved ones. Like I said, there's quite a lot of them, so it will take a while. I wonder why this one hadn't noticed us yet. Okay, let's go back to the item at the entrance we didn't pick up. Now they just keep coming at us. Let's finally get that item. It's an itemized soul, by the way. Now we'll just continue exploring the village. I haven't memorized the layout, so I can't really give you a good guide for finding every item here. But I should be able to at least give you an idea of what it looks like. We found the shaman, but we couldn't kill him before he poisoned us. Doesn't matter, we'll just use a Royal Lotus. Let's pick up the item over here and look around and see where else we can go from here. There's an item over there, but we can't reach it right now. I guess we'll have to go this way and enter the swamp again. Well, there are a couple of items we can collect here, so... Some dark moon grass, nice. And here's even more of it. Okay, it was definitely worth it coming here. Now let's see how we can get back on the platform. Well, that was easy. Okay, I will try to go back to the entrance just to get my bearings. I will still kill any depraved ones we come across, of course. Wow, 3 of them at once? Damn, I should have trusted the soul remains. Well, at least it won't take us long to get back on the platform. We're kinda cutting it close on both health and mana. Come on, dude, just die. Thank you. Let's cure our poison now, heal up and replenish our mana. I still hear more depraved ones, but it doesn't seem like they found us yet. Okay, we're back at the entrance. Well, looks like we were going the right way, so let's backtrack a bit. I just now realized, but if we just follow the bloodstains, they'll lead us to the next fog gate. Yeah, there we go. We even found the second shaman, as well as some more depraved ones. Let's use a fresh spice, grab that item, and then continue following the bloodstains. There's another depraved one on the upper level. And now we should cross this plank. Nothing else here. There is an itemized soul in this building, as well as a couple more depraved ones. And one more has decided to join us. Seriously, how many more are there? Okay, now we need to find the path to... Dude, don't sneak up like that! I'm pretty sure this must have been the last one. Anyway, the path to the shortcut is this way. We basically need to keep going by the cliff until we eventually reach the drawbridge. There will be a few giant mosquitoes and some depraved ones along the way. Here are the mosquitoes. There is an item I saw in this corpse. And once we cross this bridge, there's going to be a depraved one on our left. It is very important we don't accidentally fall off, since we'll have to go back through most of the swamp and the entire depraved one village to get back here again. We're nearly there, just a bit more. Let's replenish our mana and go lower the drawbridge. There is another itemized soul in that corpse. Phew, finally! Now, whatever happens, at least we won't have to go through the entire level again. Not that I expect to die or anything, it's just the boss fight left, and it's another very easy one. The boss fights in this world are all piece of cake. I'll probably fast forward our trip back to the Depraved One village. Okay, we are back, and now we just need to continue forward. The fog gate we see in front of us is the one leading to the boss fight. This boss, just like the previous one, is all about finding the perfect spot to snipe from. And the spot is right here, behind this wood post. The long-range attack of the Dirty Colossus is him sending swarms of flies towards us. Most of them should be blocked by the wood post, but they don't do a lot of damage even if they do hit us. There's one more spot where we can hide while we heal. It's guaranteed he won't be able to hit us here, but our spells also won't be able to reach him. We should wait here until his barrage ends. Okay, we should be able to finish him off now. Well, we don't have enough mana, so I guess we'll have to use another fresh spice. Now we wait until he stops attacking again, and then go and kill him. Perfect! Like I said, it's just another easy fight. We have a couple of items we need to collect from this arena, and then we'll get his soul and return to the Nexus. I don't know why, but it's pretty difficult to get this item. I don't know what would happen if we drop down into the water, and I'd rather not find out. Okay, so while we're doing our usual routine in the Nexus, let's talk about the Dirty Colossus. He's similar to the Leechmonger, in the sense that it also wasn't a sentient creature that got demonified. Rather, it was all the filth that had accumulated in the Valley of Defilement and brought together through the power of the colorless fog. Since we don't have any other stats we need to increase, I wanted to try to improve our survivability a bit, so I'll be upgrading our vitality and endurance stats from now on. Let's store our items, repair our equipment, and we'll be ready to face the final boss in World 5.
You have a heart of gold.
I can forge weapons for...
We didn't get hit as much in this level, it seems. I mean, we lost a lot of health, but most of it was because of the poison. I think this is a good place to end the episode. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, please consider pressing the like button and subscribing to my channel. It will help me a lot and encourage me to bring more content for you guys. I'm releasing new videos daily, so hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow, when we'll continue our journey through the world of Demon Souls.